Okay, part two here, gang. This is Red again of RedDragonLeo.com. And, I talked a lot about the manipulation, but I did want to continue on about that to try to put these pieces together. I thought maybe we were going to go up to that fake print, but I just didn't make sense to me again about Bernanke putting this stimulus money in here and ramming the market up hard with it with extremely, extremely light volume. Again, and whatever we do into the Legatus pilgrimage, generally we do the opposite out of it. And so the fact that they pumped money into it before tells me it's a top. We're going into a top. And so, yeah, this is pushing up a little bit. And so what I'm looking for come Monday and Tuesday, I am looking for this overhead line right here to break to the upside. Most likely, not sure it could break to the downside, but the fact that on the 15-minute chart, you draw this line here all the way up here, all the way up here. It's a very important support trend line, and then you draw a line right here, and that should probably break out to the upside. Sure, it could break down to the downside as well, but I'm leaning towards the upside because of the 60-minute chart. Wanting to push up right here. Mainly, it looks like it's putting in a bullish divergence. Looks like we can go a little bit further, and if it breaks down here, then if it falls, what I'm looking for is a move down here to possibly, and this trend line is something that the chart pattern guy's drawn in, and that could be the general area certainly. I don't think we filled this gap right here, so that to me looks more like a likely target. 1090, so anywhere between 1080 and 1090, sorry, tongue-tied. So if we pop up here Monday, I think we should sell off on Tuesday, back down a little bit. How low, I don't know, but a likely target is usually gap fill, and there's a nice little gap for them to fill. Plus, it looked like it chopped around a lot in that area, and I think if it breaks that, it's going to easily go on back down to here. And if it goes on back down to here, then we're hitting this rising support level. If we break all that and we do go back to our fake print of 105.59 on the SPY, if we go back to that, folks, the high is in, I believe. I don't think we're going back up on a wave C. So, this whole move is our wave 2 up, but is it going in an ABC pattern? In other words, are we going to go this being A, back down here to B, and then on up to C to hit 1130 area as a top? That's possible. Is it likely to happen? I don't know. I just know that this area here, this invisible line that's not really here yet, but this line, if it breaks, and if we go on down to 105.39, then that wave 2 is likely completed, and this would be the first wave 1 down of wave 3. In other words, let's move over to the daily. So if it popped down to 190, then that would be a small wave 1 down inside of a larger wave 3. Like say this is our wave 3 right here. Okay? Big long line right here. Taking out the 1010 low. Yes. Okay, so basically here was your wave 1, your wave 2, and now your big wave 3. But inside it's going to have multiple waves. So you'd have a wave 1 down to 1090, a little wave back up, maybe half the distance to 1100 or something in the following week, and then a wave 3 inside of a wave 3, okay, and inside of another wave 3 of here being this one being wave 1, this being wave 2, and this whole move being wave 3, and then the whole thing being a primary wave 3. So not being an expert at Elliott wave, but I can tell you it's a lot of wave 3s coming. I'm just going to say that. Any way you play this out, there's a lot of wave 3s. That spells a crash. So, is this finished up on the wave 2? In other words, this being a wave 3 right here, this whole move, okay, follow me here, wave 1, 2, 3. Okay, inside of wave 3, you got wave 1, 2. Are we done with it? inside of this wave 3 down, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making up this 3. And you'd still be inside of 1, 2, 3, which would mean a 4 and a 5. Just in this big long wave 3. Okay? I know we're getting confusing here, but just bear with me. You know, slow it down. And I talk fast sometimes. Anand says I do. But you can always pause the video and back it up. But regardless, so is this wave 2 done? If it takes out this top, then it might not be a wave 2. But so, you know, is it done? If it's done, then we should go down to that 105.39 print this week. If we go down that 105.39 print this week and then rally back up the next week, you know, essentially that's going to roll this over down to about here, and then it'd push back up one more time and kind of do one of these numbers here, up and then up. Or I wouldn't do 3 of them though, just do 2, and then massively fall down if it falls down this week. And that's you know, that's still debatable up in the air. It is such light volume. It's all what these powers that be want to happen. Do they want this to start down now, or do they need more time to cash their checks and funnel their money out? Are they going to push this out till the 20th when the pilgrimage is over with and try to sell? Because they've got to unload a lot. So, you know, and I'm sure they were unloading some here, and they're unloading here too. So, so that kind of, you know, makes you wonder. But when you see the daily here, it still is pushing up. And the weekly is supporting it. The weekly is pushing up here, but I don't think it's going to have more than, you know, this week could be another bar just like it, and next week another bar just like it. In other words, about 3 bars is the most I'll give it before this thing rolls over, if it doesn't just start to roll over this week. So for the bears, if you want an early start, if we close out at 105.39 or around that level by the end of this week, then this thing is going to roll down here and put a deep or you know, a bearish candle in, you know, one of these on the weekly. If it's going to go up a little bit more, and keep in mind this is options expiration week. So again, if it's going to go up a little bit more, then we'd want a small B wave down, like say Tuesday, maybe a red candle down, and then a chop back up throughout the rest of the week, maybe end up flat or slightly down this week, which would allow this weekly to put in another little bar like this, okay? And then one, you know, more push up the following week after OPEX week, up to this triple top area, and if they wanted to pierce above it and take out some of the stops on a fake move, they certainly could, but it would be it. That'd be the end of it. That'd be done after that, because that's going to put us around that September 20th time period. So you know, that's the following weeks, you know, September 20th, 24th, somewhere in that time period. So when's it going to start? I don't know, but certainly if we pop up here and get up here to this area or even close to this area, it's a great shorting opportunity at any time. Even here is a great shorting opportunity. So I think we're going down to Dow 8,300, folks, within the next month or so, but before the end of the year, certainly. So, you know, if you're a position trader and you're not doing options, or if you're doing longer term options, I think you'd be safe to go all the way out to towards the end of this year, December puts, and you'd probably be fine, because I think we're going to fall off a cliff here. I just don't see it. I kept trying to lean bullish, thinking that maybe we're going to have this massive stimulus package come in, but we've seen it. This was it. I don't think there's going to be any more. I just don't. The volume was so pathetic, so light on this that there's just, I don't think there's enough money in it to push it up. And then we're running out of time here on the monthly. How many bars sideways does it take to make a bear flag? I don't know. How many licks does it take to get to the inside of a lollipop? Well, probably a lot more than it takes to do this bear flag here. So that's clearly a bear flag. Down, sideways consolidation. You know, down, up, down, up. You can still call that sideways consolidation. Is it going to take a massive reversal and go up? I just don't see that. Of course, this is rolling up, but the month ain't over, so don't pay no attention to that. Just look at this. Down, sideways, I think it's going to fall off a cliff. I think the monthly is going to curl down. And, weekly, how far can you go outside of this channel? I don't see any way of getting back up here to this. I just don't see it. I don't see it in the cards. There's just a lot of overhead resistance here that I don't see it breaking to the upside. I think we're going to have a red bar this week and, close down. I don't know how far. Again, I don't know how far, but it could just put in just a little even bar there. And then the following week, it's probably going to fall off a cliff. So, everything is pointing to that, folks. Just, look at that movie, the Wall Street movie that I was, telling you about here. It's telling something. This is saying the market is getting ready to crash. This is saying whatever we do going into the pilgrimage, we're going to do the opposite afterwards. And let's not forget my old friend that used to be here on the site, on the blog all the time. Let's not forget what he has told me, and that is that he is 100% confident that the high is in for the year. The high is in for the year. And this old friend is someone who used to post a lot on the site and very much into numbers and rituals. And if you've been around my site long enough, you'll put two and two together and figure out who that is. For you people who were into that show Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura, just to let you know, Duncan O'Finian was here on Project Camelot well before that show. He is the real deal. He was a programmed killer who says in his video that in the 80s he had was sent to kill a man, and it was he didn't know till later that it was George W. Bush. And he was in the bar and had his gun out, and he got a phone call not to kill him. And Bush was there drunk, falling down, and the Secret Service were picking him up at some bar. This is obviously when George Sr. was president. So very interesting about Duncan O'Finian, a good guy who was unfortunately programmed, to be a killer. So, but, read about Benjamin Fulford stuff, and I'm just running out of time here, so I'm just kind of rambling. But bottom line is for next week, this spiral dates guy here, his stuff is on my site, link as well on the Red Pill or the astrology site. He still has a big turn coming, so it very well could be, this could be it. This turn indicates to me that, see, he don't have much for the 20th or anything like that, so this could be the major turn. If this is it, that means this week, once it starts down, it's going down into start of the wave 3. So that would be the scenario of basically down to the 105.90 or 105.39 print by the end of this week, back up the following week for a small wave 2 to who knows where, 1080, 1090, then the massive sell-off after that. So that would mean that this week was going to put in the final high. Meaning Monday or Tuesday, because it could be plus or minus a day or two. So, and I think that is certainly leaning towards the case. So either way, we are so close to a final high, folks. It's scary, and it's so. I wouldn't, if I was any of you, I wouldn't take any long positions at this point. I think the stimulus money is petered out. It's done. This was it, and you've seen by the volume that we've had all week. This is like the lightest volume I've ever seen throughout the whole year. So anyway, that is it. Of course, I guess I could have went over the VIX here and went over at Cobra's chart and checked out the VIX, but you can certainly read his site as well. You can see the VIX is coming into support as I'm running close on time. It's coming into major support. It could go down a little bit more. But that's it. We're looking for a breakout on it. It's broke out here. It's broke out here. Draw the line down here. It's broke out. I think it's going to come very soon. This right here is the 200-day moving average on this chart. If it's about 11:15, if it's where we can hit, pierce through it a little bit maybe. But that's it. I'm running out of time, gang. Just look.